Okay, today we're going to go through some audit questions and look for some classic uh, traps and tricks and figure out ways to eliminate answer options when you're not necessarily familiar with the topic being tested. So here I am on ChatCPA's exam simulator. I'm just going to practice some random multiple choice questions on the topic performing ethics, performing further procedures and obtaining evidence. Let's get started. Okay, first question. During the audit of accounts receivable at year end, the auditor has obtained management prepared aging schedule and oral explanations from the controller about past due balances. The auditor is deciding whether additional procedures such as confirmations and testing subsequent cash receipts are needed. So the auditor is wondering if they need to perform further procedures. Which factors should primarily govern that decision? Okay, so before we even look at the answer options, the question's asking, should the auditor do more testing? And which of these is most impactful in deciding if they should do more testing? So option A, the amount of time remaining in the budget. Okay, no, it doesn't matter what's left in the budget. The budget is irrelevant. We'll cross off A. The assessed risk of material misstatement for receivables and the reliability. Yes, that sounds pretty good. We'll keep B alive. C, whether management has agreed to include receivables in its written rep letter. That sounds okay too. If management's not going to uh, represent those, I don't think further procedures are going to cut it. We'll leave that in. I don't like it as much as B, but it's a thing that will result in something. D, whether the receivable balance is higher than it was in prior year, that wouldn't really affect what you're doing. Okay, so right away we can eliminate A and D. Those were irrelevant to what's being asked, and B and C are what's left over, so now I'm at a 50-50. I like B a lot more than C. I don't dislike C too much, but let's see what the answer is. It is B. Okay, so why wasn't it C? This is an important part of the step. So I eliminated A and D. I don't even need to read the explanations. But C, I was still on the fence about. But why was it not a good? So written representations are a part of audit evidence, but are generally less reliable than externally obtained evidence and cannot substitute for corroborating procedures. So they are not the primary factor. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Next question. A company has material accounts receivable from a major customer at year end. Before year end, the customer had financial problems and was already behind on payments. Okay. So at February 10, about 40 days after year end, but before the auditor's report is dated, the customer files for bankruptcy. Okay. Assuming the bankruptcy provides additional evidence about conditions that existed at year end, what is the correct treatment of that event? Do not adjust or disclose the event because it occurs. So that already sounds bad to me. Do not. I don't test. The exam writers don't like such absolute words like do not do this, you should not, don't ever, do all, you must, you can't, stuff like that. So A, do not adjust I'm going to cross off A pretty confidently. B, disclose the bankruptcy in a note only. I don't like the word only, just like I was saying, with no adjustment to the financial statements. And that doesn't feel right to me. I'm crossing off A and B. I'm already down to a 50-50 coin flip here with C and D. Adjust the 2025 financial statements to reflect the effect of the bankruptcy on the receivable. So just naturally, that feels right to me just because I know, like, if someone's gone bankrupt, you haven't dated the report yet, you already have this information, you could probably adjust the financial statements to reflect it. I like C a lot here. D, issue the auditor's report with an explanatory paragraph, but do not require any financial statement change. I do not require, that's more words I don't like. I like C here. I'm pretty confident that that's the right answer. It is. But why wasn't C? Candidates may think the auditors report can address the issue without changing it, but accounting treatment is management's responsibility. If the event requires adjustment, yeah, okay, an auditor's explanatory paragraph does not substitute for requiring accounting change. Yeah, you wouldn't explain this event in an explanatory paragraph in the letter, in the auditor letter. C was the clear choice here. Next, during the final stage of a non-issuer audit, okay, management refuses to sign the written representation letter. Okay, that's a big problem. Management has to sign that. Blah, blah, blah. The auditor has completed other planned procedures and withdrawal from the engagement is not practicable. Okay. Which opinion is most appropriate? So you can't even get rep letters. We'll find an opinion. Disclaim the opinion. Yeah, that sounds right to me. You can't really give an opinion if you don't have something like a rep letter. Doesn't matter. You get qualified, unmodified, adverse, no opinion at all. You have to disclaim the opinion. So I already know the answer is A. But let's read through just to make sure that the explanations are in line with what I'm thinking. B, a qualified opinion can result from a scope limitation that is material but not pervasive. Okay, but this is fairly pervasive, I'd say. And it's not practicable, okay. An adverse opinion is issued when the auditor has sufficient evidence. Yeah, but you don't have sufficient evidence. You have a scope limitation because they're not giving you that rep letter. What was D again? Unmodified opinion. This is tempting because candidates may view the representation letter as conformatory. However, representations are required evidence. Yeah, okay. So we got to the right answer just because that one was fairly easy. But yeah, that's how to look for certain words and kind of eliminate answer options that fall into these certain patterns where they use strong language or do not do this, you must do this, you can't ever do this. Like those things you can usually eliminate if you're not familiar with the topic, like scope limitations for management not giving you a rep letter. Look for things like you must not, you cannot, you should not ever. Those things can usually be eliminated and get you down to a 50-50, which is a pretty good outcome if you're not familiar with the topic. So yeah, if you're ready to try yourself, go to chatcpa.io/exam. You can start practicing without any sign up. Just type in your email and go and see if you picked up anything from this video. Thanks for watching.